on the Future Monkeys, they were like one of the girl that was on the podcast is leaving, and the question of the week is what would they write in her yearbook if they were all going to school together, and everyone wrote all this funny stuff, and I just put I'd write just have a great summer.
That's cheesy.
Yeah.
I will say this. My ex-wife and I were together at that time. I know my ex-wife since I was 15. So, for my senior yearbook, she basically wrote a whole page. She took up a whole page in my yearbook. Sadly, my yearbook has been lost over the years. But she wrote a whole page in my yearbook, yo. It's crazy. But yeah, people were like, holy shit, she actually wrote all of that shit in your yearbook. But I mean, my ex-wife used to write, like, we didn't go to the same school, and we didn't live in the same city. I lived in Newport News, she lived in Hampton. So she would be in school, and she would, like, when I see her, she would be like, yeah, I wrote you this letter. And it's like old school where the letters were like folded in funny, quirky ways and shit like that. I used to keep all of that stuff. I have no fucking idea where any of that shit is now. I used to keep all of that shit, but it used to be kind of awesome back in those days when we used to actually write. But yeah, it's a little crazy, and my yearbook was okay. Like, I got pretty decent amounts of people, but most of the people did do the same thing, that you were talking about. But I did have a few people write a little something.
Yeah, that's why it was like sarcastically, like, nothing special, just, I don't really know you, so I'm just going to write have a great summer type thing.
And then my school had the most unfortunate, I can't remember if I ever actually talked about this on the podcast before. I know I've talked about it. I talked about it to people in like life, but here's the problem. I went to a school, like Newport News, they bus people. So, like, if you go to a school in Newport News, like, there may be some kids from the poor end of town, and there may be some kids from the richer end of town, and they will bus kids from both areas to go to the same school, so they can keep it kind of mixed up, Yeah. So the kids from the better area of town decided to pick our song for the prom. And they totally picked that song because of the title, not because of anything that has to do with the song.
Which song is this?
It is a song called Next Lifetime by Erykah Badu.
Okay. I like Erykah Badu.
Yeah, but Next Lifetime is as a title, it's a little bit more befitting a high school prom than a song about meeting somebody and feeling attraction, but you're already with someone, so you have to tell them that we can't do this. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Like, that's what the song is actually about, but which it doesn't really jive. Like, I mean, it's a slow song, so you can play it at the, you can play it for the slow dances at the prom and stuff like that. But it didn't fit. Like, all of the kids from my end of town. I mean, I guess you can guess what end I'm from. I mean, no, you can't guess what end I'm from by the way that I talk. But you can guess where I'm from by how I described where I'm from. That's probably a better way to say it.
You're from the suburbs.
I am not from the suburbs, sir. I am not from the suburbs, sir. If you know anybody who has been to Newport News, if I tell them where I'm from, they go, "Ooh, you're from there?" That's pretty much how this goes. But because I don't really talk like them, I can if I want to. And I usually start talking like them when I'm angry. But not angry on a podcast, just angry in general. Because angry on a podcast, I still try to be a little bit more eloquent. But yeah, it got so bad that I used to work in Newport News, and I would work in like kind of the middle area. And I would meet somebody from my end of town, and they would think that either I'm not from there or they would think that I'm from the better end of town. And I had to explain to them, no, sir, I am not I am not one of those people. I am not an uptown kid. I am a downtown kid. I grew up in the same place you grew up. And then and it got so bad that I would tell people where I'm from. And I would say, when I grew up when I was in high school, I lived on 27th and Chestnut. Now, most people will know the number streets not what's good. There's nothing good in the number streets. And actually the further down you get, the worse it is. All the way down to pretty much like 16th Street is pretty much where like it's the worst the worst place you could possibly.
Right.
And where I just moved from was in the 70s. So you can see like this is where I'm from. This is where I lived. I used to have a house on 26th Street. This is, these are my people. But they never believed that I was one of those people. And it got so bad that not only did I tell them I'm from 27th and Chestnut, and they didn't recognize, they didn't think that I was actually from there, but I had to describe to them the house I grew up in, which is really hard to do because over the years that house caught fire and burnt down, so there's nothing there now. And then I had to describe the surrounding area for them to understand that I am actually from there.
Right.
Which is just fucking crazy when you're at work. And then like you're at work, so like, basically it's the niggas don't believe you a nigga too. Like it's that, so I can't really go full nigga at work. I'm at work. You know what I mean? Like, so it was that kind of conundrum where I felt some type of way about, them questioning my hoodness, but I couldn't actually be hood in that moment. So yeah, that happened to me quite often. And then here's the crazy thing. To me, I do not think that I have very much of an accent. Because I know some country motherfuckers. Right. But when I moved up to Richmond and when I talk, they think I'm country as hell. And I'm like, I'm from an hour away from here. Like we're not that different. And they're like, oh yes, you're very different. I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't even have that deep of a Southern accent. I mean, I can.
Yeah, I can even see that with myself. Like, I would come up and people would. I mean, I just understand it to where I'm pretty sure that someone from not here would just hear my accent or whatnot. But from people around here, I really don't really have much of an accent.
Yeah.
People around here.
That's true because you're pretty country to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not like as country as I know some people. Right. In North Carolina and South Carolina and stuff like that. Like, I took a trip to Alabama, so I met some country ass people. Including the nicest lady with the most adorable Southern accent. And I know I say this every time I talk about this, but the halfway point between here and where I was going in Alabama is in South Carolina. And it's in Spartanburg, I believe. I believe it's in Spartanburg. And we always stop there. It's kind of more like a truck stop type joint. And it's pretty much the halfway point. And when the first time we went down, I bought something, and the lady with the most adorable Southern accent said, "Credit or debit?" And I was like, "Oh, that's so adorable. It's so adorable." She's like, "Credit or debit?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that is so adorable. Country people are adorable. Oh my God." Like I was having that kind of a moment. And I will remember that lady for the rest of my life. And it was just that one interaction. But her accent was so adorable that I will never forget her.
Yeah, I think it works better for girls or females to where like a guy would see a girl with a thick Southern accent as cute when a guy that has a thick Southern accent as stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't really work for guys, but
But you know what? Chicks dig my accent though, especially when I was up north, when I was in like Boston and stuff like that. Like,
Hmm.
of course, like the moment, when I go up north, the moment I start talking, whether I think I sound country or not, I'm country as hell to them,
Hmm.
because I'm in Massachusetts, so if I don't say "pat the cab out of buy," like they immediately know, and that was a terrible, terrible, terrible Massachusetts accent, but that's how they talk,
Yeah.
like it's you know, it's one of those things to where it's like when you're from the South and you're in Boston and someone starts talking about khakis, you don't know whether they're talking about their car keys or pants. Oh my god. Oh, but yeah, but like the moment I start talking to people, like when I'm in more of the city areas, because my ex-in-laws lived in basically Mayberry.
Right.
It was very Mayberry. Like it was Dunkin' Donuts are everywhere in Massachusetts. So like the
Mhm.
Dunkin' Donuts looks like a fucking cathedral. But like there's like all of these like trees and shit, and then there's the main road where everything is, and then there's nothing else until you get closer to a city area. You gotta drive like a fucking half an hour to get to a mall to go
It,
buy stuff.
that kind of reminds me of something about the Andy Griffith Show, to where if you go back and watch that show's that town, how they make it in the show is actually really liberal. like Andy never he doesn't believe in having a gun. Like he's a police officer that doesn't have a gun, and he always is like looking out for the people. And like if someone's like trying to get over, like trying to make run businesses out of the they're never going to like let Walmart go there, you know what I mean, and run the small town businesses out, you know what I mean. So it's actually, I mean, and I believe that in real life Andy Griffith is like a Democrat, but I'm not sure. But yeah, for a show that's always seen as the most southern town ever is actually fairly liberal if you really think about it.
Yeah,
But
but let's be honest. Like Andy Griffith was. Like back then, the Democrats were a different type of people.
well,
Like way further back, but they're from an
yeah,
era where Democrats were kind of different people. Democrats are basically opportunists.
uh-huh,
So they kind of go where things seem to be going,
uh-huh.
and then the Republicans were just kind of like, no, fuck that, we want to stay right here. And that's where we are as a country, where we have a quote unquote Republican president, and everyone who supports them is fuck that, we want to stay right here, and no one wants to move forward in their lives, and which is it's weird. It's weird. The weird part about what's happening in our country, and we'll go through the deets and stuff in a few minutes.
Mhm.
The weird part about our country is like knowing Trump supporters. Like it's easy to say fuck all the Trump supporters on like Facebook and stuff like that, but when you work with one, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like you can unfollow him at work. You know what I mean? Especially when you work in an environment like mine where I only work with one or two people at most. So it's one of those. It's weird. I mean, now, granted, my coworker is not a Trump supporter, not a Trump supporter, but he is a
Right.
Fox News guy. He's very much a Fox News guy, and there's some times where he seems to be a very free thinker, and there's other times where
Is he a libertarian?
I don't believe so.
Because I mean, yeah,
He
I don't
seems to
agree
have
with everything,
he seems to
but
have a
normally,
I lean a little bit more libertarian.
yeah,
I'm very live and let live.
yeah,
With my lifestyle choices and stuff like that. And when it comes to the big button issues, like abortion and stuff like that, it's like I don't really agree with it for myself, but I don't feel like I have the right to tell you what to do.
right. Yeah, I mean, that's always been my position. Is like I would never, ever, like even think about getting an abortion. But I mean, uh, uh, here was the thing. This is like really controversial talk, but like here's the thing with me with like laws like that. It's like the law is there to keep people safe,
Right.
It's not really to push any agenda. It's just to keep people safe.
Because if
And
you
having
make
it
it
legal
because if you make
makes
it
it.
yeah because if you make it illegal, people are going to do it anyway, but they're going to go through back channels and they're going to get really fucked up and possibly killed.
Right, because I mean, you saw it with like prohibition.
Hmm.
That did not stop the making something illegal. I mean, yeah, don't legalize murder. I mean, but that's not like a product. But making
Except
something
for one day a
illegal.
year. Except for one day a year.
Okay, Mister Purge. But
No, yeah, I'm joking. Fuck that shit. Because I don't have enough money to protect myself in a purge, so I'm fucking out of here. So no, don't do a purge, please.
but yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, making something illegal basically just it doesn't make it stop it. It just puts it on the black market. And because like yeah, drug dealers don't want freaking weed to be legal because then they would have to actually lower their prices to compete with the government. You know what I mean?
Right. I always thought that you should legalize marijuana and prostitution and then just tax the shit out of it. Then we wouldn't be in such a deficit because people want their pussy and they want their weed. Like, so why not make some fucking money off of it if you're the government? And when you look at what's happening in the places that have legalized weed, especially when you look at Colorado, like
Mhm.
how much money that they're making that they're able to do stuff with is
Yeah.
a better idea than saying fuck this shit. No, we're still against weed. No, the Colorado is making millions and millions of dollars off of that, and then they could invest it into their infrastructure and their schools and all of this other stuff. Like people, like I always say with weed. Here's the thing with weed, and it's kind of similar with prostitution.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit less so with prostitution. But here's the thing about weed. I don't know nobody who wants to smoke weed that doesn't know how to get weed.
Right.
I haven't smoked weed since high school. And if I decided today I wanted to smoke some weed, I know exactly who to call. In fact, I know multiple people that I can call that either can get me the stuff themselves or knows the person that I can get it from and can vouch for me. So if you're in a situation, and it's just like prohibition. Like, okay, you said that alcohol, but like people who wanted alcohol still knew how to get it. So there was no point of the prohibition because at some point it's just like, okay, like people making this shit and people making this shit in their homes. It may not be safe. You know what? Let's turn this shit back on.
And plus, it wouldn't be regulated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's kind of like the vape juice and stuff. So where at first, yes, the businesses are going to suffer because they're going to have to do the thing to get the regulations in place, and they're going to have to do a lot more work, and they might not have the money for all that stuff. But it's better for the consumer because that way, maybe there would be a day when vape juice is regulated and everything's cool and everything, to where you could go to the freaking gas station and get legit vape juice that you know what you're getting. You can't go to the gas. You have to go to some vape shop, and sometimes they're not close, or you have to order it online. You can't just go to the vape shop, the gas station, and get you a bottle of, something good like Cosmic Fog or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, regulations
I always
are good.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing about what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Regulation and enforcement also creates jobs because you have to have people to inspect the stuff and enforce when it's not working and all of this other stuff. It creates more work for people to actually fucking do.
Because I mean, yeah, I know it sucks, but I mean, because it's all good when I can make a vape juice company, get some VG and just start selling juice. You know what I mean? I can do that right now if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But if it had to be regulated and all this, then that would technically be illegal. And then that sucks. I couldn't do that anymore. But it kind of protects people from me if I decided, you know what? It makes it a lot cheaper if I cut this with alcohol. You know what I mean? Or rubbing alcohol or some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
but there's also innovation in that crack. Like, who thought of crack? Like, who said, I like cocaine, but if I cut it with baking soda and some other shit, it's going to be off the hook. And is cheaper because I'm using less cocaine to make something that's still getting your ass high. Who the fuck thought of that? Like, seriously, I mean, most people, militant black people, raise your fist, will say that the government taught them about crack. When they introduced it into the inner cities, in order to, destabilize the black community, which makes some sense, not all of the sense.
That's some straight up purge stuff right there.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense on this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
These dudes who ended up being kingpins and stuff, and big drug dealers and stuff like that, they had to get the stuff and to the infrastructure and the know-how of how to make it, how to cut it, how to do all of this stuff. That didn't necessarily come from the people that are stigmatized with this is who they are. You know what I mean? Did a black person figure out how to make crack? Probably not. Somebody told them how. And then all of the people in charge of the production of the cocaine, ain't none of them black either. So, you know what I mean? How did crack end up being a black thing?
Right.
And then for years, the inner cities have been struggling with all kinds of addiction, including heroin. And now that the suburbs are struggling with heroin, now there's safe spaces for people to use heroin, but not safe spaces for the people that you associate with being heroin users. How the fuck did we get here?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that
it's like
that crack is like a black thing, and then like meth is like a white thing. It's like why are these things? Why does it happen this way? Is it just a stereotype, or does it really happen? What I mean?
No, it's a stereotype, but like but the stereotype is like there are these drugs, and we associate a certain type of people with using it. Like if I say just sniffing cocaine, who do you see sniffing cocaine? Uppity white dude, right?
Right.
Uppity white dude. If I say meth, you associate it with the same kind of people that you associate with trailer parks. If I say crack, you associate that with the hood, and if I say that, overdosing on prescription drugs, you're going to associate it with Wall Street, what I mean? But to be honest, like everybody is using these drugs, like people from all over the place. Well, this one lady got
Wall Street, I associate with all the drugs, just to get that out there.
True. But yeah, because this one lady got caught, she got caught and she was high as hell. And she got caught driving home, and they associated her drug use with a cocaine apartment. Mm-hmm. And they put the words cocaine apartment, which is a place that she went to do drugs. She, because she was an uppity white lady, the Wall Street type, or like married to a Wall Street type, they said it was a cocaine apartment. You mean a crack house? She went to a fucking crack house. She got high. She left and got pulled over because she was high as fuck trying to drive home. She went to a crack house. Like, but you can't call it a crack house because of the association with the crack house not being for uppity white ladies.
Right.
So she went to a cocaine apartment.
You're like, what is a cocaine apartment?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this place.
Yeah, the cocaine apartment. Like, you can look this shit up. Like, I'm looking it up now. Hold on.
I guess she liked cocaine.
Yeah, it's just like no. The lady didn't drive home. She overdosed. She overdosed at a high society New York City cocaine apartment. She was a dermatologist. You know what I mean? But the fact that she was a dermatologist at a high society New York place, it's a cocaine apartment, not a crack house. All right, so before we move forward, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna stay on the vaping thing. This is Sarcasm Live. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
And I have not done the show notes. I mean, the show information stuff in the last couple of episodes. I apologize. And I still never released that Howard episode. I still don't know if I really want to do. But you can reach us at geeksonraw.com. If you want to email us, scarcasmlive@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm Scarfinger.
And I am Awakened Heathen.
Right on. And you can join the Facebook group. We actually use the Facebook group sometimes. And you can just search Geeks Gone Raw on the Facebook groups. If you want to leave us a voicemail, which very few do, and I ended up using this phone number for all of my bill collectors so that they won't call my phone directly, but 757-774-8447. All of the
Write it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just add it to your contacts.
Yeah, absolutely. Send us a voicemail. Say hello. Text. You can send us a text to that number. I'll get the text.
And it will read it off like in a robot voice?
Possibly. But I know I've sent a text. I've sent a text to that number before and it just came through as a regular text.
Oh, okay.
All of the music on the show is provided by the homie Layback for Life, which is our gaming partner. What's up, Layback? And we'll talk about him in a little bit. And whenever he puts out mixes, you can catch his podcast where he puts out mixes on laidbackforlife.podomatic.com. That's laidback, the number 4 LYFE.podomatic.com.
Sweet.
So did I hit it all?
I believe you did.
I hit all of the important stuff. Okay, so I broke my mod.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And it's the mod that I just bought in May. And I think I spoke briefly about this on Facetious, but I broke my mod. And so my old mod did not work with the new tank. The resistance was too low or some shit like that. And it was just like, nah, we good. So I went to the store to buy some coils for my old tank. And while I was there, it just happened to be because I was stuck working on fucking Labor Day, which sucked. But so while I was there, the coils, a pack of coils is like $17. Just give you a baseline. You know, for the people who don't vape, like a pack of coils is like $17. Each coil generally lasts about 2 weeks or so.
I always put it like this. Especially if you're new and you're getting like one of the vape pens or something, buying a coil is like buying a new lighter. That's your lighter. So every now and then it's going to go out of fuel and you're going to have to get a new one. And then, a tank of juice is like a pack of cigarettes. Every tank of juice is a pack of cigarettes. A bottle, like a 30 ml bottle, that's like a carton. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's how you can kind of justify things and in price that it actually. I mean, if you get really into it, you can spend some more money on it than you did cigarettes, like buying mods and RDAs and switching this out and that out. But like as of just everyday use, it is cheaper than cigarettes.
Yes.
To me.
Absolutely. I'm not spending nearly as much because I will buy juice and I still have juice left from like a month or so ago. But I just bought some new juice, but I'll get to that in a minute. And that might be the name of the show, eventually. But yeah, so I went there to buy a pack of coils for my old tank while I figured out what the fuck was going on. And the lady was like, hey, it's a holiday. We got a sale on this mod. And this mod is just $30. And I started doing the math in my head because I had just bought coils for the Big Baby Beast.
Mm-hmm.
So I just bought coils maybe a week before. I had only used, I'm still using the same coil because these coils, I bought a different kind of coil and it's working a whole lot better for me as far as longevity because the other coils that I was using after about 3 or 4 days, I was like, it was burnt as hell.
Mm-hmm.
This one has lasted me almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks on Saturday. So I started doing the math and she said, this is on sale. It's $30. She said she likes the mod. It's not what she uses, but she uses a smoke alien. And so, but she said that she really likes the mod or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. The only ones that they had was
made by?
Is the same company was the one that you were telling me about that you had?
Joycheck?
No, the one that you the one that
Sigelli?
yes, it's made by Sigelli. I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Oh,
What is this shit called? The Sigelli, fungi or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce this shit.
yeah, yeah. I'm not sure. The one we have is just a Sigelli 100 plus, and that's just what it's called. So
Yeah,
that's like a 2014
yeah.
mod.
Um, okay, so I ended up going and I got a Fuchai 213 or 213 plus. I like this thing. I really do like it. Here's the only problem that I have with it. Well, there's two problems, and they both pertain to the same thing: batteries.
Hmm.
Okay, so there's battery rattle. Like if you shake it, you can hear your batteries rattling, which is not a good sound.
Right.
Not that you really should be shaking your mod, but there's battery rattle. And also, there's no vents on this thing. There's no battery venting. So I have a couple of old batteries, and they got the old brown covering or whatever like that. I went
Yeah.
to they started getting low. I went to take them out, and it started melting the plastic on the outside of the battery.
Hmm.
So I think we probably should have some battery venting of some sort.
Right.
But so far, I really like this, and I realized that me dropping my mod is not what actually broke it.
Huh.
It was shit designed from the beginning, and there's so many videos of how to actually fix the thing because it's shit design. But here's the problem: in order to fix it, you have to do a little bit of soldering.
Right.
I've never soldered a thing in my life. So there's a guy at work that does a lot of work for us, and he's cool as shit. I fuck with G hard. G is my dude. His name is George, but G is my dude, and G also, I don't know if I talked about this, but G sold me a washer and dryer for $100. Fuck yeah, man. Like, fuck yeah, man. I finally got a washer and dryer at my house. So I no longer have to lug my clothes in my car all the way onto the other side of the fucking city, into my girlfriend's house, and then I gotta lug this shit all the way back in order for me to wash clothes now. I can wash clothes at home, which is fucking great. Let me tell you. Because, there's times in life where you do stupid stuff like accidentally sit on a packet of sweet heat and get it all into your comforter because your bed is in your living room. That type of stuff. Like, it's great when you can fix it and wash the fucking comforter out.
Right.
And I totally did that. That was totally me. I sat on a packet of sweet. For those people who don't know what sweet heat is from Popeyes, and it is a more of a spicy sweet and sour sauce
Yeah.
for chickens.
Yeah, I dig me some Popeyes.
Yeah, I fucks with Popeyes. There's Popeyes everywhere. We don't, the thing that we don't have a whole lot of, and like other places do, like we don't have a whole lot of Zaxby's. And I know a lot of people say that they have Zaxby's everywhere, but they don't have like Popeyes, or they don't have like Chick-fil-A's and stuff like that. Like we pretty much got a little bit of it all, except for we don't have a whole lot of Zaxby's.
Yeah, there's Zaxby's like pretty frequent, but there's only like one Popeyes in the area, and but yeah, I think it just people around here just have boring taste. Like sometimes, I mean, yeah, I can fuck with a burger. I mean, it's one of my favorite foods is a really good burger with like everything on it. Just like a good burger.
How often do you go to Cookout? Are there cookouts everywhere in North Carolina? Like
Yeah.
I believe?
That's my favorite cheap burger.
Yes.
It's Cookout because you can get a good burger just like the ones you would make at home. With everything that I would want on a burger. And
but you got to get the big double. Do not get the single quarter-pound burger because it does not look like it's enough. If you get a big double burger, at least it looks decent.
right, yeah, big double or the one up from the regular. But the single, yeah, that's like the big double, the slice of the big double, but just one of them. But
Right.
The huge one is like one of the ones you make on the grill at home. It's like freaking pound of
I
hamburger.
never had it. I usually just get the trays, and I don't normally stray too far away from what's available on the trays.
Yeah, I don't either. But the cheapest thing that I noticed, because if you get a burger and you're like me to where you're not just going to get ketchup on the bit, you would get the barbecue sandwich. I don't know if you like barbecue at all. Or,
I don't, but my girl does, and people have told me that their barbecue was really good, and she says she's tried it and it was really good. But my girlfriend's like the plain Jane type. Like she'll go to Food Lion and buy the barbecue in the little fucking container, and it's like,
yeah,
ew, like why would you do that? When you could just go buy a barbecue sandwich.
right. Because places like White Swan or Smithfield's, I mean, they're good, but they're kind of pricey. But at Cookout, you can get exactly what they have just for so much cheaper. But the barbecue sandwich, if you're wanting to get the tray without any extra, because you get the burger, you get Cookout style or whatever style you want, but that'd be extra 85 cents or something. But with the barbecue sandwich, you're not going to put chili on that. You know what I mean? You're just going to get slaw and hot sauce, and that already comes on it. So you're going to just get whatever comes in. I mean, what other place can you get 2 quesadillas as your side to a burger?
Exactly. But let me tell you what happened. Last time we went with Pooh Bear, and the Pooh Bear. Well, that's that one of right not too long before she left, because we went to Cookout a lot this summer because I don't have a whole lot of money, and Cookout is really cheap and it's really stinking good. And if you eat in there, of course you can drink as much as you want to. Bam. And you can get Cheerwine on tap. But we went and Pooh Bear wanted a milkshake really bad.
Right.
Like, really
their milkshakes are good.
I have never had a milkshake. I got lactose. I got lactose.
Yeah. That's one thing that really I used to really love a milkshake, especially some of the more gourmet ones like from Dare or Char Grill, because Char Grill is similar to Cookout except they have more inside eating, and they during Thanksgiving or Christmas they had a salted caramel milkshake, and oh my god, that thing was amazing.
Yo, Pooh Bear wanted a milkshake. I got her M&M's milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
Was just crunched up M&M's. Holy fuck, was that shit good? Oh man, that shit was good. I mean, of course, it was really thick, and I had to go get her a spoon. But man, that milkshake was good. So one day,
yeah, man. Their milkshakes, yeah, you have to get it, because one time I got the banana pudding one.
mm-hmm.
Like, all of a sudden I was sucking on my straw, and I was like, I cannot get anything. And then I picked it up, and it was like a whole piece of banana.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to get this through a straw? But it was awesome, it's actually that legit.
Yeah, kind of like when you go to Sonic and you get like a lemon berry slush, and you don't realize that they actually put a piece of real lemon, and and there's real fucking strawberry in it, and you're just like, what the fuck's going on with my drink? And then you pull a little bit harder, and then a piece of fucking strawberry just shoots to the back of your mouth and almost up the back of your nose.
Yeah,
that's happened.
But yeah, Sonic Cherry Limeade, man, those things so good. But
yeah, see, like I said, I haven't strayed that far away from the tray. I will say one of the best things that you could get, and and Cookhouse is really decent.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've never tried this, please try it. It is the greatest. Get bacon on a hot dog.
Okay.
Get bacon on a hot dog. Me, I am a chili cheese, onions, mustard, ketchup, bacon person.
Uh-huh.
And it is greatness because, of course, with the tray, you spend a little bit of extra for the bacon, but there's 2 hot dogs in a tray, so that's greatness.
There's something that I had recently that was really good, and it was at Burger King. They're that Rodeo King burger.
I love the really rodeo good. Burgers. I love the rodeo burgers. They're just the $1 rodeo burgers where it's just like a little hamburger. They put some barbecue sauce and some onion rings on it. And I hate that they stopped selling those because I would just get some rodeo burgers if I was in a place where I couldn't, like if I was on the road or something like that and had to stop at a Burger King or something like that, because I would be driving for a while and I couldn't get no cheese, I would just get a rodeo burger. And
Rodeo King is that, except there's, of course, it's bigger, but there's more onion rings, more barbecue sauce. Plus, it's got bacon and mayonnaise. So it
no, you lost me at the mayonnaise. Really? I'm not a huge fan of mayonnaise.
Well, you're okay. For me, here's the thing with me and mayonnaise. mayonnaise to me is a tamer. Like there's things that are really astringent and really strong, like mustard, like yellow mustard is really strong. Like especially if you don't refrigerate it, it's like overwhelmingly strong, and ketchup as well. But if it mixes a little bit with mayonnaise, mayonnaise tames it down. You know what I mean? And
The only time I have mayonnaise is if it comes on a burger the way that the burger actually comes. Like, I will have mayonnaise if I get a Whopper or,
right, but I mean, well, that burger comes with the mayonnaise, so it's
exactly. So, but like, of course I still got to add more ketchup to it, but, because I'm a ketchup guy. But that's the only time I will ever have mayonnaise is if I order a hamburger and it's already there.
right.
I
But
don't
you're
want
not like
personally. I don't want it on anything else. Nothing at all.
you're not like an anti mayonnaise because those type of people I really can't really be. It's not that I'm like, if you don't like mayonnaise we can't be friends, but it's just that they're so stuck up about it. It's like if I put mayonnaise on something, they're like, oh my god, you put mayonnaise on that? Oh my god, look at, oh, I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
one
not.
of those people. I'm not. Blue always says that I'm a hater, even though
Yeah.
he's very much the hater. And he's going to hear this on the show. Just like when I said that he says big words unnecessarily, and he was like, "I'm not doing that. That's just a part of who I am." Yeah, right. He sent me that in a group chat. But Blue calls me the hater, even though he's very much the hater. I'm very much of a, like, that's not my thing, so I'm not going to worry about it type person. I'm not going to actively hate on your mayonnaise use.
Right.
Like, I don't really care about your mayonnaise use.
I mean, there's a lot of applications for it because, I mean, other than like just putting it on a sandwich or something, I mean, it's used in a lot of cooking more than a lot of other
Yeah, you can make a cake
condiments
with
are.
mayonnaise because most of it is oil and egg whites, right? The base of
Right,
it is
yeah.
oil and egg whites. So I've heard of people baking cakes with mayonnaise.
And I actually want to try to like make my own because I really love a really good BLT. And a key to a good BLT is really good mayonnaise. And I heard this one place that actually made their own mayonnaise to for their BLTs because when mayonnaise touches like a tomato, there's a flavor there that's really good, well, at least to me. And that normally I associate with a BLT because it's bacon, lettuce, tomato, and a little mayonnaise. And
If you use the word mayonnaise in a sentence and you are not talking about condiments, you might be a redneck. Shout out to
well, you
Jeff.
don't like
Shout,
some
shout,
good
shout out to
some
Jeff
good tuna
Foxworthy.
sandwich?
I
Yeah,
don't I
Jeff
don't
Fox.
I don't I don't eat. I really don't eat fish at all. I'm
What
not.
about chicken salad? I mean, chicken.
Nope. I don't eat it. Nope. Don't. I don't eat none of that shit. Like I said, the only time I eat mayonnaise is if it comes on a hamburger that it was already on.
Well, it seems like you're simple, but you're not plain. Like I mean, I know people that are really plain. I mean, I'm talking like the only thing they eat is bread and meat, and
Yeah,
that's
my daughter is like that. My daughter is like,
yeah.
give me a chicken sandwich. I want nothing on it except pickles. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want the lettuce. I don't want the mayonnaise. Like, I don't want any of this. And then one time, they actually put the stuff on it. And then I was like, well, maybe you can spice it up a little bit by putting some ketchup on it. And she was like, oh my God, this is disgusting. And I'm like, what are you doing? Speaking of this is disgusting. Um, and we're just talking. I mean, it's been a couple weeks. So, I found this recipe online, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's you make like the inside of an egg roll, but you make it without wrapping it in an egg roll and frying it. So you take some sausage and some coleslaw mix and, put some other shit that I had to buy because of course I don't have that kind of stuff like ginger and shit like that. I don't have that kind of shit around the house. I saw that recipe and I really liked it. I thought that that some of the stuff, the ginger and the garlic cloves and all that kind of stuff were a little too strong. So
Mm-hmm.
I made it and I cut down on all of that stuff, and it ended up being a lot better for me. And I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend absolutely fucking refuses to eat it. Like she
And
won't
what
she
is this
won't
again?
she won't even try it. It's like the inside of an egg roll. with
Oh,
sausage.
okay.
You make it with sausage. It's like the inside of egg. And she absolutely fucking refuses to even try it. So I only can make it when I'm at home. I thought it might have been something that Pooh Bear would like. So one day last week, I decided to make it. So I normally don't tell Pooh Bear what I'm cooking unless I'm cooking something specifically for her. I'll just like, look, I'm making dinner. You go play your game, and I'll let you know when it's done. All right, cool. So we're sitting down. I make the bowl. I sit it in front of her, and she's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, it's I was like, it's good. Try it. So she sits down. She leans forward very hesitantly, and she tries a piece of the meat. And she's just like, okay, this doesn't seem so bad. So she takes a decent sized bite, instantly throws up in her own mouth. And I'm like, bruh, there is nobody else around here that actually wants to try this stuff. I know I talked about it with Blue before, and he told me to send it to him. I keep forgetting. And he said he would try it because it's really, really healthy. Like, basically it's sausage, coleslaw mix, and some other shit that I don't normally eat, like ginger and garlic cloves and all of this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta put I mean, I understand it on certain levels. You just making a quick sandwich, just But if I'm really wanting a sandwich, there's gonna I want lettuce and tomato, and to make a real good sandwich is really gonna fill you up. Because one thing, it's like you're eating a burger, you're eating fried hamburger meat. It's like the worst, like freaking meat you can eat for you. You can at least put a tomato and some lettuce, which is not.
There is spam.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's spam, but still, like, it's not like lettuce and tomato are like the most healthiest of vegetables, but you're getting there a little bit to have at least some vegetables. You know what I mean? But and also, I'm pretty adventurous when it comes to food, and I like if I just have like something very plain, I'm not really that satisfied. I do kind of want at least 3 flavors there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if I have like I don't know, like a piece of toast, it's not going to do anything for me. And I don't
have that refined of it. I really just don't.
Yeah, I mean I get that, but it seems like you do like stuff. It's just and sometimes it's just necessity. Like I'll go to Hardee's and just get the $5 bag. Yeah, it's not the most adventurous thing ever, but it's $5 too. Or I could go to Red Robin and have the best burger ever, but I'm gonna pay $10 for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
that's just for one burger. But you do get unlimited fries. But I'd rather get unlimited burgers. Fuck fries.
Exactly. Just give me a whole bunch of sliders, dude. Just give me a big fucking plate of sliders.
Yeah, sliders are shit. I don't know why. Like it's better having it smaller, but like the ones at like Golden Corral and stuff, like. That's like the first thing I go to. I don't know if it's just because it's like they use the buns that they give you, like the buttery buns, and put burgers in it. I'm like, that's the best idea ever because these buns are awesome. Burgers are awesome. Put them together, it's freaking awesome.
Except if you get the certain kind of certain kind of sliders from Steak and Shake, some of them are not what's hot on these streets.
Right. Yeah. We used to go to Steak and Shake a lot. We, as in the band, because it was the only place open like at 2 a.m. other than Waffle House. And not that I'm like crapping on Waffle House because I dig some Waffle House too. But sometimes you don't want Waffle House all the time, and Steak and Shake is something different. So I mean, I definitely dug their shakes, and they do a pretty good burger. But I don't remember it too well because it is 2 a.m. and we were too busy like punching people in the face.
Correct. All right, so.
Well, not at Steak and Shake, but at the shows and stuff. Just to clarify that.
All right, so that is hilarious. There's a chart. Oh. There's a chart on Facebook, and it's a pie chart, and is mostly green and has a sliver of red. And it said, "Are the Jets going to the Super Bowl?" Green is no. Red is no, but in red.
I saw the same thing about Donald Trump, but
we can't really talk. We can't talk about. I don't want to talk about 45 today because then I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying I saw the same type of, but I don't really like I'm not your other friend that likes to stir pot, but but yeah but yeah. Actually, what got us talking on food? What I was originally going to say is that there aren't many Popeyes, there aren't many Arby's, and I think that's just people aren't really adventurous around here to where. But sometimes you just want something different. Like
Bruh,
Arby's is something different.
bruh, have you had
Popeyes,
that? If you ever get to an Arby's, if they still have
uh,
this, try the pizza sliders.
okay,
Bruh, I'm not even an Arby's guy because I don't really dig the roast beef.
uh-huh.
They have a chicken sandwich, is like a chicken cordon bleu, or they have a chicken and it has like a honey mustard or something, and some cheese, and that shit is fucking greatness. And I can never think of the damn. I can never think of the actual sandwich because every time I try to explain it, people always say it's the cordon bleu, but the cordon bleu is not what I'm talking about. But they came out with this thing. It's called a pizza. It's called a pizza slider. It's just like a slider size, and we were just talking about sliders, and it has like pepperoni and I think ham and some sort of a sausage slices on it and some cheese and in some pizza sauce. Oh my god, it's so good. Get like 8 of them shits though because you're going to need.
Yeah, yeah, I dig Arby's. I mean, but I dig roast beef as well. I mean, because like if I go to Subway or something, I would definitely kind of want roast beef or like steakums or something. Because
No,
I mean, it's the closest thing
I
to
only get
steak.
meatball sandwiches from Subway. I don't get nothing
Well,
else.
I do love meatball sandwiches, but
If I'm feeling adventurous, then I'll get a chicken pizziola. That is the only other thing that I get from it.
but yeah, I'm not really a ham person. Like
Mhm.
I mean, I'd rather get turkey than ham, but I'm not really that big on chicken or turkey. I'd rather have red meat. So and roast beef or Philly sheep, like the Philly steak, like steakums is the closest thing to red meat that they have. So
All
so
right.
yeah, we've talked about food a shitload.
Yes, sir. Do you want to talk about something else?
Well, I haven't really played much games, so well, I did finish the
I
first
have
season of
actually.
Walking Dead. So, but yeah, I think we talked off air about that. But yeah, somebody I know was like letting their kids play it just because I think they just thought it's like Left 4 Dead, like killing zombies and stuff. No, this is not like Left 4 Dead. This is like heavy, like hardcore, like mess your kid up stuff. I mean,
Yes.
because even me, I'm like, whew, that's
Okay.
that's something else.
I
Like,
will
I
say
mean,
this. I will say this. This is bad parenting. This is bad parenting 101.
uh,
I let my 9-year-old play Life is Strange.
right, but yes, it is Life Strange. But I mean, the first season or so, not the first season, but the first episode or so isn't that bad. Other than there's a lot of f bombs, but as it goes on,
But I mean,
it does get really
she lives with me,
much.
so it's not like she's like, oh my god, f bombs, like fuck out of here. Like
Yeah,
this is how I talk, and this is how I talk around her too.
yeah, but it does get really deep and heavy. So, but yeah, there are two child mercy kills in the first season of Walking Dead, and one of them is they're not a zombie yet, and the second one is a zombie. And I actually forgot about the second one, but yeah, and
The second one,
there's two child mercy kills. The second one's in the attic where they find it.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched the first. I mean, since
Or
I
play.
played the first.
But yeah,
I mean, you're watching most of it. Let's be honest about it.
well, yeah, but yeah, it's and a lot of the kills, like especially the one in the beginning, it's not like boom, I've killed a zombie. It's like I'm hitting this zombie over and over in the face, blood's going everywhere, and finally I'm just going to rip his eye out. And you're like just sitting there pressing, hit. Actually feels kind of. You're like, wow, this, that I'm having it's like, hit zombie in the eye, hit zombie in the eye. I don't know. It just feels different than just shooting a zombie like in Left 4 Dead. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It feels more emotionally draining. Which when people talk about The Walking Dead and saying like, I want a Walking Dead game like Left 4 Dead. I want to shoot some zombies. Let's Rick and stuff. I was like, you already have that game. You have Left 4 Dead. You have Dead Island. You have Dying Light. The Walking Dead, Telltale is the developer to do that show or that series because Walking Dead isn't really about the zombies, So
Correct.
Telltale actually did it the way that portrayed The Walking Dead the way it needed to be portrayed. If you made a Walking Dead game that was just about killing zombies, it would miss the whole point of the show or the comic or anything about Walking Dead.
Let's see, what were we talking about? I lost it. I was listening to you at the train of thought.
That you played a game?
Yes, I played a few games actually.
Well, we did. We haven't recorded since we had that really really big game night. That was really awesome.
Yeah, we played the Killing Floor. We had a full room. Even after one person left, someone else came in. That was fucking awesome. The Killing Floor, even it's available on Xbox now. It became available on Xbox after that day, like the week after.
Right.
So it wasn't available on Xbox before then. It is now. And it's also an unlockable in the current Humble Bundle.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was the early unlock, and now it's just a part of the package. So if you want to get it on PC, but which I don't. But like there's times where the free games that you get for the consoles are just like, really, this is what you offered me. And then there's those ones that surprise you. The Crew was like that for me. I was very surprised by The Crew, and I was very surprised at how much I liked them. And now, and then Rocket League was a surprise because it was one of the free games originally. Like that type of stuff. And now Killing Floor. I looked at the Killing Floor and I went, okay, I guess I'll add it to the library. And then you said you wanted to play it, so I cleared some space because I only have a 500 gig hard drive on my PlayStation. And I cleared some space. I downloaded it, and it's a really stinking fun game. It's like Left 4 Dead Horde mode with up to 6 people.
Right.
And that is really fun. It's Left 4 Dead Horde mode with Counter-Strike in between rounds.
Right, and the kind of fun that we were having kind of reminded me of the kind of fun that we would have in Destiny and stuff, to where it's not really the content of the game. It's like our interactions, to where we had like these inside jokes that pretty much like spawned throughout that night. About the doctor, and that he kept coming up and like, I'm back for more.
Yeah, and they kept talking in a German accent, which I can't do. Well, it was a terrible German accent, but it was still funny enough for the rest of us to. But yeah, like all of that stuff. It was just a good fucking game night, like really good. I mean, we had you and I played last Sunday. We played some Division. And then we started playing, and then the homie Laid Back for Life jumped in. Shout out to Laid Back for Life, DJ and Music Meister. And that was still fun, even though, because we needed him to power level us. And he did that. Works for me, shit.
And I thought we held our own pretty good. I mean, we couldn't just you can't really run out there in the Division no matter how high level you are, But the like I was dropping guys and stuff, but I couldn't really do like he was doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we are like around level 20, 21, so we're getting there.
Absolutely.
But
so it'll be fun. It'll be fun when we actually get past the level cap and we can start setting our world levels until we get our gear and stuff right. I'm still not going into the Dark Zone. I don't care what the fuck you think. I don't care about the Dark Zone at all. I will probably ignore the incursions because the incursions are very much like Destiny raids, where you got to really have somebody in the room that knows what the fuck they're doing in order for all of y'all to get out of this shit. But like, I am enjoying playing that game again. It's a lot slower. I really enjoy the slowness of it. Stopping to go get you some materials and stuff that you think you may need. We did go ahead and get our pretty much. We got a good gun. We finally got the AUG that I coveted quite often in the early game. We went and got that, and I mean, all in all, it was a good fucking time. Shit, I want to play now. Now that we're talking about it.
Yeah. Getting to level 30 and all that will be good. On another level is we'd be able to get more people in, because a lot of people, I'm like, oh man, Nick Games from the Mine is playing it a lot right now, and I'm like, but he's probably like level 30 and has a high rank. So
it's like, yo, can you power level me, dog? Because now that they added the thing where they can drop weapons for you, they can drop weapons and gear as long as you were there when they got it.
Right.
It's great because he's going to get a whole bunch if he's already at max level and he's getting a whole bunch of gear that he's never going to fucking use. And you're like, that makes you instantly awesome.
Right.
So yeah, man, that game is fun. I know it caught a whole lot of shit. But it was very similar to Destiny to me. Like when the game first launched, it was very content light. But like the more they did updates and stuff like that, it actually made it more of a fully fleshed out game. And even they had an update right before we played, and there was shit popping up on the screen that I had no fucking idea what it was.
Right. Because I mean, but that's true with most MMOs and MMO light games. Like Division and Destiny are not MMOs because they're not massively online multiplayers, but they are built similarly. Similarly, there we go. And then but the thing is, there's still like a world that's constantly changing. So they kind of have to be reviewed differently. And I think like places like Metacritic are doing it different now to where like Destiny came out yesterday. There's no real reviews up yet.
Yeah, because like, they said that it's kind of a rolling review.
Right. Like, but when it first came out, the reviews were up and they were like panned reviews. So, but I think if they kind of waited and kind of seen how things would kind of do and did a rolling review that would constantly change over like the next year, then you would get a more accurate review of the game. Because
speaking of Destiny, you didn't buy Destiny?
I don't have Destiny 2. No, I didn't pick it up.
Is it because you don't want it or you don't have the money right now?
Well, it's not that I don't want it. I didn't have the money because I was going to pay for it last because I still have it pre-ordered, but I was going to pay for it last month. Which I mean, I had the money. It's just I was like, buying a video game probably isn't the best idea right now because school's starting and all that. So, but
that's the same thing with me. I would have. I mean, well, Pimp was supposed to buy it. And now he's not going to buy it. So now I'm thinking about buying it because I just want to play something.
Yeah. Because when I was thinking about it, even though I was really burned at Destiny when it first came out, there was still something about it. Like the first days of playing it, and like I met a lot of people through Destiny because I was on the PS3 and I didn't really have many friends on the on the PlayStation at the time. A lot of my friends that I was friends with had PS4s, so like I met like some really cool dudes through it, and like. Guy that's actually listening right now, Husky, which his name is Howard, and he thought it was hilarious that the whole thing. But
I know if I ever upload that show, you wouldn't think this is funny being associated with this Howard.
Yeah, but yeah, he him and Skinny and there was some other guys that I think I'm still friends with on Facebook too, because that's how I kind of found a lot of those guys through a Destiny community on Facebook. And they went with me through my first raid, and like it's kind of like
I've never completed a raid in Destiny.
Well, I would say like it'd be kind of cool to go through Vault of Glass or something, but I don't know, like installing the first Destiny again would be like weird since Destiny 2's out. But yeah, like I'll get it at some point. I'm just not sure. Like I haven't bought a game that's $60 since probably Persona. But so it's like I don't really buy like $60 games like outright like that unless it's like something I know is like if it was like Mass Effect and Persona are the only ones. I didn't even pay full price for Nier Automata.
I didn't pay full price for Mass Effect because I had EA access, so I got their little 10%.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I got the 10%, but I also got the biggest package or whatever on Xbox. But on the PS4, I got it pre-owned for like $30. So yeah.
All right. So you said you haven't played much.
No, it was just Walking Dead or whatnot. And well, before we move on, I guess on the Killing Floor night, I mean that was pretty much a podcast night. So like we had Gaming History X, Fred Rojas. We had Dad's Getting Grounded, which they've actually closed their podcasting doors for now. And which I didn't know that night, but they had closed it before that game night. But I guess they didn't mention it when I said podcast or Dad's Getting Grounded because they hadn't released the news yet. But yeah, Dad's Getting Grounded isn't a podcast anymore. But and then also the Disconnected Gamers. That J-Bond guy.
It always sucks when you just decide that it's not. I've been there quite a few times where I didn't want to do this. I still feel it sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. I still feel like that all of the work that goes into doing a podcast, I just don't really want to do it by myself. Like,
Right.
like the editing and all of that other shit. I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this. That's the reason why it takes so long for the shows to come out sometimes.
Right.
But
Yeah, I'll definitely take some of that stuff up because I mean I'm down with it, and I mean I have fun because I've been wanting to do some podcasts for a while. A guy that I was podcasting with for a while, Max, he's my like my best friend growing up, and we had a little podcast that we were starting out called Rock of Sea. We were mostly talking about movies and stuff, and we only had 3 episodes, but we were doing it in person, and it just got to where we just couldn't do that, you know. But yeah, like and also J Bond was podcasting or not podcasting, but playing with us. He's from the Disconnected Gamers podcast, and I think it was another. Maybe it was just them. Yeah, Fred, and the guys after and Runer and all the hosts of That's Getting Grounded were playing Killing Floor 2 with us, so that was cool.
hell yeah.
And those guys are funny. I mean, because I've been with those guys for a long time, and like it's weird. Like when I first like joined the dad group like back on the 360, that was like 10 years ago. So I was like 10 years younger when like they met me when I was like 23. Like I was like, to me I was like I was really young. You know what I mean? I was like a completely different person.
Yeah, my new coworker is really young also. Like I asked him what year he was born, and he said like 97 or some shit like that. And I was like, I graduated high school in crazy.
Yeah, well, I was playing video games like actually in that group that we play Destiny with. There was I can't remember his gamer tag, but he was 14 at the time, and that was in 2014. I was like, dude, how does it feel to never ever have experienced the 90s? Like,
Right.
what the hell? And he's like like an intelligent sounding person playing video games where he didn't really. He was pretty mature for his age, and I think he was pretty good friends with Skin. But yeah, it was weird, and it's always weird. Like when we were playing Call of Duty 4 back in the day, we were playing with this kid named Ninja. I can't remember his full gamer tag, but it was Ninja was part of it, and he was like 16 at the time. Now he's like 27 or something. He has a kid. He has like this. He's like got this really good job, and I was like, dude, we like watch this kid like become an adult. like he's like got a life now. Like this is crazy. Ninja's a dad.
Yeah. Guess where my nephew, who I remember when he was born, my nephew turned 21 yesterday. like what the fuck? Like really? That just happened? Which is like like you meet, people, and then you don't realize, it doesn't make you realize like how old you are until you like something like that happens. And my nephew's, he's a father now, and he turned 21 yesterday, like crazy.
Here's what makes me feel old when I see like on Facebook, 10th anniversary of this album or 20th anniversary of this album, and those are the albums I consider the new album still. Because it's, you know what I mean? Like, but it's weird.
Yeah. I'm oh my God, I want that. Okay. I follow this, thing on Facebook. It's called Drum Heart.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a whole bunch of like drum, things that you can, put on your wall and stuff like that. And it's just this really nice, where it looks like a drummer with a drum set in a field. And it just says, I hit with sticks. And that's amazing. It's really nice too. But it just says, I hit shit with sticks. That would be awesome. But okay, so all right, let's go ahead and get through what we've been playing and what we've been watching, so we can go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, we've been rambling a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been it's been a long time. It's been a few weeks. So I played a smidge of Prison Architect. I talk about that a lot, so I don't need to go into much detail after that. I played I played the games that I played with you. I played a smidge of the story mode of Madden 18, but I didn't play very much because I got a phone call. My girlfriend called, and then I stopped it, and I didn't really get very. And I was on the wrong profile because I was looking at another profile, and then I didn't realize I was still signed into that profile. So it's not even on my main profile. So if you look at my gamer tag, it's not there. So I'm just
Right.
gonna start. I'm just gonna start over at some point. And then I was talking to Pimp. Shout out to Pimp. And Pimp's totally into the wrestling right now. And so I put on WWE 17. Now, I put it on because I was trying to see if I can find his game save, because he set up everything like what he talked about last time he was here, and his game save completely disappeared.
Huh.
Completely. So all of that extra shit he had set up is now gone.
That sucks.
Yes, it very much does. But I will say this. It's a 2K game, and I've heard quite often of people who play NBA 2K that their saves just magically just disappeared, and there's absolutely nothing to show for it. So these things happen.
Are they doing a Hellblade or something?
I have no idea. But yeah, it really sucks, especially as much as he said he's invested in how much time and energy he's invested into that game, and for it to just be gone.
Right.
Do you actually hear that?
I heard it.
It sounds like a drill.
I heard it.
Or somebody using a jackhammer in the background. Yeah, that's a problem that I'm dealing with, and they can't seem to find the problem. It's from the water pipes or something like that, and just every once in a while it just fucking does that. Yeah, fun times. I just didn't know if you could actually hear it on the podcast.
Well, I heard it. I heard it then, but I hadn't heard it earlier. So.
Oh yeah, it's done it twice over the course of the show. So I put the game in. I tried my career, because that's the only thing that I do in 2K. I just do my career. And I started playing the game, and I thought that there was going to be some sort of tutorial. Nope. Very first thing you do after you design your character, which I really like their design options. But the very first thing that you do after you design your character, they put you in a match that I promptly fucking lost. And then they put you in another match against an actual wrestler that I promptly fucking lost. And I realized, I started thinking to myself, when was the last time that you played a wrestling game, dude? SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. That was the last time I played a wrestling game. It's been almost 10 years since I played a wrestling game, and I had no clue how to actually play this game. I thought there would be some sort of tutorial. Nope. And it's a little weird, because just like 2K, you have to buy like move packs and stuff like that to get better moves. So like when I normally set up characters and set up the special moves and all of this kind of stuff, some of that shit just isn't there. And I got to actually use VC to buy move packs. You can also use the VC is virtual currency. I know the homie Rashani always says it sounds like a venereal disease. But you also use VC to unlock extra wrestlers and stuff like that. Like you can download wrestlers. Well, you unlock wrestlers that are already in the game. So like a lot of the legends and stuff like that, you just use the little bit of money that you got and you unlock those. They don't seem super expensive. It just depends on the wrestler. All in all, I had a good time with designing my character and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't know how to actually play the game. So, but like all of these things, by now, like the new game is coming out soon. I think it comes out early next month. So the new game doesn't come out till early next month. So there's nobody explaining to me how to play this game. There's nobody online explaining to me how to play it. It's like being a console player starting on Diablo 3. Like everybody who played Diablo to this point is so far advanced, and they're talking about like armor sets and all of this kind of shit that you don't even know anything about because you just got started on a game and you've never played it before. And now I have no earthly idea. I watched a video of a guy getting started, and he was already good at the game because he played the previous games, and he just mopped the floor with the people that I lost to. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here, because they were like, after the little training period, because I went through the whole thing. And I went through the whole training period, and they were like, yeah, we're going to pair you up with a tag team partner in NXT. And the video that I watched, he was already good at the game. He went straight from an absolute nobody to they started him straight on fucking SmackDown.
Huh.
Yeah. We're just like, you fucking jerks. I want to be on SmackDown. I've actually been to a SmackDown in person. It was awesome. So I have to figure out how to play this game, and I don't really know how. I don't know how I'm going to figure this out.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Yeah. And then of course I watched Pooh Bear play Life is Strange, and now I kind of want to play Life is Strange. I want to finish it. She did make it to the second episode, and the biggest problem that I had with that episode, from what I've seen, and then there was another time where I found out that my man Kojak, listener of the Dream Team, he passed away. So I was on the phone and, I was separated from Pooh Bear while she was playing, trying to, take care of myself so that I could, be a father in that moment. But she played a little bit without me, and apparently there was some sort of a suicide that she probably could have prevented if she would have chose the right stuff, but she didn't. So that person died. But there was a conversation where a girl at the time insinuated that she was raped.
Mm-hmm.
And that was almost my breaking point, but Pooh Bear had no idea what she was talking. I talked to her about it immediately after, like, do you understand what's happening? And she was just talking about like, the stuff that she heard the girl say, but she wasn't talking about what she was inferring.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point to where it was just a little bit of a risk, but Pooh Bear, it went completely over Pooh Bear's head. And okay, bad parents aside, I let Pooh Bear play the game because she had already watched someone live stream it.
Mm-hmm.
She was watching someone's YouTube videos of the game and she was interested in the game, didn't know I had it until I had the PlayStation on one day when we were watching Voltron.
Yeah, that's always been weird about the YouTube thing, to where, like, maybe that's why a lot of kids are watching Let's Plays, is because, if they can't buy the game at GameStop, nobody's stopping them from watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's why I watch RimWorld and all of this other stuff that costs more than I actually want to spend on it.
Yeah.
And as far as what I'm watching, the season finale of Power came on. It's still great. You should watch it. I don't care who you are. You should watch Power. Get it however you, because apparently 50 Cent got beef with Star until Stars gave him a bunch more money. Now he's all back in with Star. 50 Cent actually went to the point where he said, yeah, after the Power finale, go ahead and cancel your Star subscription. He actually said that in an official capacity. But I started Survivor's Remorse. Survivor's Remorse is back. And as soon as Survivor's Remorse is off, that's when I'm going to cancel my Star subscription until Power comes back.
What if American Gods come back?
Oh yeah, American Gods, but I was looking at American Gods on Kodi, and then I got the Star subscription for Power, and American Gods was there, so I just watched it there. I haven't been back to Kodi in quite some time. And then we finished up what's on Netflix for Voltron. Voltron is really good. Like, I like how you can tell that the people who are creating this Voltron, they know and they understand old Voltron, but they were like, we don't want to do what they did. We're going to take this in a different direction. And the directions, I watched Voltron as a kid, so I understand how all of this stuff works. But how it works in the Netflix show is greatness.
Right.
And it's very anime-like, but I still dig it. Y'all know I don't dig anime. For the most part, I don't really dig anime. I don't hate on it because I know a lot of people love it. For the most part, it's just not for me. I don't really like the girly, angsty teenager stereotypes. From
I don't like what's the word? I want to say procedural. I don't know, like the just the run of the mill anime, like stuff like Naruto and stuff, to where it is like that. I don't like the old Dragon Ball where it take 30 episodes for one fight. Right, and they really did that just because there was such a high demand for the series, but it took them too long to write it. It was having like catch up with the mangas and stuff like that, so it got weird like that. But I definitely like smarter, like like stuff like Cowboy Bebop
Yes,
and Do Rah Rah. It's pretty smart.
I remember Cowboy Bebop being cool and Samurai Champloo. Basilisk was cool until the very, and that's pretty much pretty much the extent of my anime watching, with the exception of the couple of movies like Ninja Scroll and stuff like that. But Basilisk is Ninja Scroll the series basically, so
Yeah,
there's that.
and yeah, like I mentioned Hellblade before. I am kind of interested in that game. It seems pretty cool, and it's by Ninja Theory, the guys who did the DMC, the reboot of Devil May Cry, which I haven't played completely, but I really dug it.
Blue loves that. Blue loves the Devil May Cry game.
Well, a lot of people like if anybody says that that they hate DMC, but they love the other Devil May Cries, then they're just fanboys because that's a freaking good adaptation of it. Yeah, it's not as Japanesey or whatnot, but it's really, really good. Like, it's a really good game. Like, if you like hate on it, then you're just hating it for the wrong reasons because it's a good game. It's just you're just letting nostalgia speak to you that you like the old Japanese. I mean, and not to say that the old games are bad. It's just DMC's good too.
Right.
It's a really good take. And Ninja Theory has proven themselves with that and Hellblade that they can like make a really good game with a pretty small team and have it look really, really, really good too.
Word up. Word up. All right. You have anything else before we bug out of here?
No, because I haven't really drunk anything, and I haven't been really vaping lately because I kind of ran out of my juice. But
oh yeah, I didn't talk about the juice. I ordered from a new company, and the juice is okay, but I don't like the name of the place. It's called Broke Dick.
Broke Dick.
It's called Broke Dick. They don't have a large variety, so I ended up with. They were having a sale. They sell 120 mils. For normally they're like 22 something, but they had a sale where they were half off, so they were like 11 something for their 20s. And so I got two of them because I figured I would be paying full price for two of them. And they were like, "Hey, since it's your first time, we can sell you another one for 11 and some change." So they didn't have a great variety, so I chose one that I don't really like very much, but I want to use it because I have 120 milliliters of this shit. And my tank only holds 5 milliliters at a time. So it's I bought a fruit punch one, and then it was like a mixed berry. It's very much like hawk sauce without the menthol. The mixed berries one. It tastes like hawk sauce without. And then I bought this one. It's vanilla caramel tobacco.
The best menthol that I have had is there was what were they, Locked and Loaded, I believe is the company. I don't know if they're still doing it anymore, but they were out of Greensboro, I think. And they had a flavor called Berry Chill. And like when someone's like, "Oh man, taste this," it's gonna choke on it first because it is so cold. It's crazy that it feels that cold, but it's just like you're just breathing in really frigid air from like outside. Like if it was like like 5 degrees outside, but it's awesome. Like I actually started craving that coldness of that to where I would actually get that flavor in zero just so the nicotine wouldn't fuck up that cold, because sometimes nicotine can make it just feel warm just from it, just the throat hit, and that would mess up the cold. So I would still get a throat hit. It's just not from nicotine. It's from that freaking menthol, and it was just really awesome flavor.
Yeah, it's
really good if you have a sore throat.
Yeah, just like Dollar E Juice. Just like Dollar E Juice, all of this is automatically 70-30, which I'm more of a max VG person, but someone told me that that's part of the coils kept burning out.
Yeah.
So all of my stuff is 70-30, except for I still got a few things from Mount Baker, but I need to order some more Thug Juice from Mount Baker because none of the places where I get this discounted juice, none of them sell anything close to Thug Juice. So
I'd say 70-30 your tank, drip your max VG, because that's really what it's for. Because it's just too thick to go through coils of any kind. Like because of 70-30 is good juice. I mean that's a good thick. It's thick. It's not because back in the day they would be like 50-50 and even lower than that.
I thought about. Well, I'm never going to go higher in PG. I thought
Yeah,
about trying, like, ordering more than one Thug Juice, but order one of them 50-50 just to see, because I don't remember 50-50 at all.
yeah, it's going to hit like a freight train, but it will really soak it because it'll be a lot more watery because VG is really thick. It's like it's basically sugar. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
so it's
All
yeah.
right. It's almost 11:30. Shit. This we can go ahead and wrap this up. This is Sarcasm Live episode Broke Dick. I wonder if they're gonna let me put this up there, put it up there as Broke Dick. And
Say Broke Richard.
yeah. If they don't let me put Broke Dick, then I'll put like something weird, like, not necessarily Broke Richard, but I'll try to find, like, what's a good word for broke? Insufficient Richard. So, yeah, I'll do something like that. So the hurricane's coming. Are y'all worried about the hurricane?
In the back of my mind, yes, but because Smithfield got really messed up last time with the flooding and whatnot. I don't know if you heard about that. Yeah, it got really flooded, like really bad. The Neuse River was like just overflowing everywhere. But yeah, but around where I'm at is we're probably pretty good, except for the trees.
Yeah, because what happened when you had to
shout out to Trees Lounge because I was on Gaming History X not too long ago, and he's a cool dude. Like, I mean, Fred too. Fred's cool, but I've actually never got to actually sit down and talk with Trees, and he's always been really funny because that's another accent I always kind of like, the Boston accent, especially if it's like a cool dude.
No,
it's pretty funny.
The accent is terrible, especially on women, because it makes women have for some reason, that accent on women have a much deeper voice, and it's not the sexy kind of deep.
Right, but dude's just like, it's like you're funny because it's like you sound funny. Oh no, that sounded bad, but yeah, he's a funny dude because he's legitimately funny. But it's like it's funnier because of the Boston accent, I think. But,
no, I'm just gonna go back to my country people. Creditor debit. I'm gonna do the creditor debit. I'm staying with. So for the homie Chase, I'm Scarfinger. This is Sarcasm Live, and we're not here.
Later.
Peace out to the Warriors. And
there you go.
Sarcasm. I like that shit, yeah, boy. Look, I'm telling you, Whoa. All right, I ain't gonna talk.